Crusade at the end of time.
これからの戦いのために万全の準備を。ではカスタマイズを始めましょう。
Yeah, now that we're here, we're gonna learn the truth of Getter. Anyway, about Atomic, he at least is decent at public relations. It is bizarre how well they're taking this. Yeah, I think they just got used to it with all the aliens, interdimensional bullshit. We've been to the afterlife 3 times. Yeah. They probably would. This is actually true. They had the people on the ship had the opportunity years ago, or at least the adults did, to join the immigration fleet, but they didn't. They chose to stay. And the people kind of grown with us. Time to learn the truth. We like Musashi. Musashi's great. People made the application of photon power reality and broke new ground in controlling it. That'd be Koji and Tetsuya. New types and more, acting as the seeds of future evolution. So that would be Camille, Amuro, and probably the rest of the seed crew. Yeah, no, it's like, he's basically pointing out, like, all these pilots are legends, and they are. Yeah, no, but you also did just say conquerors. This is true, we're already pushing. That's the immigration fleets. Yeah, invading. And he points out, like, did the new, like, that's not really their MO. They are not invaders. They do colonize, but they're not actively invading. Yeah, this is true. The NUNG is all about coexistence. They actively do try to live with other races. There are a few exceptions, of course. There was the events of Macross Frontier and the tension with the Mimirians. Yeah, this was a movement from Earth. It had nothing to do with the NUNG. And they didn't get on board. So, how did this happen? Lost. The giant space warship Getter Emperor. That was the end of Orion War 1. That's the thing, it's... At this point, it's humanity's not being moved by its own will. It's being moved by Getter. Getter is a conqueror. We've talked about the will of Getter before. Because again, Getter rays are alive. They are sentient things. The Getter Robos are not peaceful machines. Yeah. Getter Emperor just keeps pushing out further and further. It's growing. It's evolving without limit. Getter Emperor will never stop. It's larger than a solar system. None of them can wrap their brain around. Yeah, that's why they've been sending people back to try to destroy Getter Emperor. Well, not Getter Emperor. They've been trying to stop the formation of Getter Emperor. Their first plan was to try to destroy Getter 1 and... Well, the original Getter Robo and Getter Dragon. But when that failed, because it ended with the deployment of Shin Getter, they then had to switch gears. And then I believe they actually pushed the Metal Beast forward of the Getter Robo Go manga. But that, again, re-led to the deployment of Shin Getter. And as shit started going down there, eventually there was the deployment of Getter Arc, which is the last thing they wanted, because Getter Arc is one of the last... It's basically one of the final stepping stones to the formation of Emperor. Because we're standing here. Yeah, if they did manage to change the past, it wouldn't accomplish anything. If the altered timeline would separate... They're talking about multiverse theory. It's like, for using another example in popular anime, Dragon Ball Z. Trunks going back in time did not alter his future with the androids. So when he went back in time and stopped the androids, it was a completely new timeline for them, which would eventually lead to Cell coming back in time. So they're technically on a third timeline right now for Dragon Ball, before everything else went down. Branching timelines. They could change the past, but said past would branch into a separate new reality, and their future would stay exactly as it was. Yeah, Getter Emperor is a singular point, forming a closed space with special properties. So it's like Godzilla. Yeah. So normally, as they said, normally when you alter time, you create a branch. But because Getter Emperor has such weight in terms of cosmic significance, it's not branching. It's all paths will eventually lead to the formation of Getter Emperor. A similar phenomenon is going on with Godzilla. As a singular point, everything's being pulled towards Godzilla. Yeah, everything before the existence of Getter Emperor would be trivial. You're throwing pebbles in a huge river. Nothing's going to change. It is going to appear. Getter Emperor is Getter Robo's parallel to the Spiral. Well, no, actually, it's safer to say the Spiral Nemesis is the parallel to Getter Emperor. Getter Emperor wants to consume everything, and you kind of just get... We've seen pilots get lost to Getter Rays. Yeah. Ambrose brought up the butterfly effect, but Yoon's bringing up beam other factors with the ability to change the future even in this closed space. That would be singular points. We currently know of 3 potential singular points at this point in time. 1, according to the Ravalians, is the Egg Advent. 2, Getter Emperor. And 3, Godzilla. So the fact that they're putting Godzilla on par with fucking Getter Emperor in terms of cosmic significance is amazing. But Getter Emperor is a massive singular point. There is no way to shift it. It's going to form. Lelouch. Of course, Lelouch would catch on just as quickly. Shamna, Queen of Zilkstein, had the Geass of Endless Rebirth. It would allow her to send her mind to the past, effective time travel. She was able to... Yeah, so yeah, you saw... Because remember, the way her Geass worked is she would... If she died, she would... Originally, her Geass was... She could see glimpses into the future, but after Lelouch killed God, it reversed, where she would go back 6 hours. And she retained her memories and experiences that could basically break time loops. Yeah, since time moves along one axis, it doesn't branch. Yeah, time moves along one axis, it doesn't branch. Therefore, the future can be changed. Yeah. That's she could be basically considered a tiny singular point. She's a single human, so it is only affecting her. It does not have enough force to affect the future, where, example, Getter fucking Emperor. Because Getter Emperor is... Because what she was doing in Zilkstan was minor in the grand scheme of the cosmos. The Advent is starting to get a little bit bigger because it's starting to affect the entirety of the solar system. And in the grand scheme, because of the Winmarians, much further out. But then Godzilla is a massive one because of the fact if it manages to destroy Earth before the formation of Getter Emperor, in theory, Godzilla could stop this future. Because, you know, God fucking Zilla. But as of right now, nothing we do can stop Getter Emperor. They were just wasting their time. If anything, they caused Getter Emperor. Yeah, if there was a singular point that could be a match for Getter Emperor, they could change the future completely. Godzilla being a... Okay, here's the thing. We predicted this before this game came out. When they announced Godzilla Singular Point, me and PK were discussing it, of there being multiple singular points in this game. In particular, we were talking about Godzilla and Emperor, because of the fact that they are just such cosmic significant events. They are massive points of destruction. But having them actually duke it out was not something I expected. One I predicted, who sadly is not involved, I would have loved to see Mazinger Zero. The thing is, though, Getter Emperor and Godzilla are still very different. Getter Emperor still has will. It wants to destroy, though. It's doing it constantly and chooses to destroy. Godzilla is a force of fucking nature. Because it's Godzilla. Arc and the Emperor. Arc and Emperor, two getters. But yeah, Arc is going to become Emperor, if I remember correctly. It's either Arc or Dragon in the Cauldron. Yeah, here's the thing. If they had... The issue is, this point in time in 2,500 years is intricately locked with the deployment of Getter Arc. If it had never done that, they would not be able, it would be, wouldn't be conceivable. Well, it goes back a bit further. I believe it's Getter Emperor basically locks its existence. So it is the events of Getter Robo will lead into Getter Robo Go, will lead into Getter Robo Arc, and that means Ryoma will get into Getter and eventually into Shin Getter. Ryoma tried to stop it by walking away from Getter, but events happened and he got into Shin Getter again, and well, here we are. Knight knows. I think Knight knows what the king is, the king of the kaiju is going to do. It's going to be a fight between an emperor and a king. Yeah, it's taboo science. Anytime time travel should always be considered taboo. Because you don't know what the repercussions are. You don't know what... You could make things a lot worse, or you could destroy entire solar systems. You don't know what it's going to do. We've seen that before, that in games, where it's just like, we don't fuck with time travel. So they chose to do this because they had no other choice to stop Getter. They try to extinguish anything that could lead to the Emperor's creation. They were the reason behind the Hyakki Empire, which was the events of Getter Robo Go. They were the ones who sent the frozen saucer fortress back to Earth's past. They fucked up the transfer, though, and it ended up frozen in the Antarctic Glacier. Until it was found by the members of the Polar Expedition Team. The guy who would later become Emperor Bride. So those are the events of Getter Robo Go, as I've mentioned. Yep. And those older insect sightings were smaller scale temporal sabotage. That was, the only times, if I remember correctly, that Ryoma got into Shin Getter, and that's when he walked away. Yeah, this is why the Getter Legion hasn't said anything back. But they also know, Emperor, I think, knows that nothing they have could stop Arc. Yeah, so everything from Shin Getter going to Mars onward is a blank in Getter Emperor's memories. It does not know these events. Which is the disappearance of Baku's brother and Ryoma's father. It's missing 19 years of history, which, granted, to Getter Emperor is nothing, but... it means we can alter things. Yeah, Getter is our god, the god of humanity, the people it chose, unique among all life in the universe. Getter Emperor, we have seen, to my knowledge, 3 forms of Getter Emperor. There's this one where Getter is not a benevolent god. Well, it's malevolent, it's evil. It's not even evil, it is a conqueror. It wants to consume everything. It's the spiral nemesis from Gurren Lagann. There's the Getter Emperor we saw at the end of Armageddon, which doesn't really explain what the fuck it is. We just see it briefly there being controlled by Ryoma. And then there's the Emperor from Devolution, which was such a problem to humanity. To break free from it, they stole a shard of it, put it into a virtual simulation, ran the simulation multiple times to try to create a Getter that could stop it, which accidentally created another team of Getter pilots, which was the Devolution crew. Their machine is a mini Getter Emperor. So yeah, Getter Robo is an aggressive form of evolution. Takuma and Amuro are just like, yeah, fuck that. This is... yeah. Like, if you've seen the original... Musashi was Getter 3. He was the heart of Getter. Now look at him. He's fucking talking about crusades and killing all life. This isn't the Musashi we know. You can see what Getter does to people. Or what Emperor does. It's also why you kind of have to be insane to pilot Getter. It's not just the insanity, it's also the confidence in who you are. But Emperor is a monster. Yeah, he's from the present. The Panseller Empire Raval came to Earth from 2,500 years in the future, or at least the Emperor and his immediate forces, which is 50,000. Yeah. Everyone is united to try to... The galaxy united to try to stop Emperor. They're not doing good, though. Yeah, they didn't break the taboo. So how? them ending up on Earth in the past was an accident. So they're time travelers, but not on purpose. Not like the Insectors in the Andromeda Stellation. They understand that they know the same things we do, though. That they found themselves in the past, and they chose to blend in. That's why what led to the creation of Val X. Yeah, Yoon's figured out as he brought up, it's a hash function. I'm sorry, of course, could be able to know what a hash function is. Converts one bit of data into another. It's a cryptographic security term. And as Lelouch points out, it's impossible to decrypt a hash function back unless you knew what the function was beforehand. As Yoon says, you can only get the right answer if you already knew it beforehand. So they already knew. They were a few steps ahead of us because they knew what was going to happen. That's how they were able to counterplay us so well. Yeah, you can see what we turned into through through the Getter Legion. This is true. That's why Guy isn't allowed to have kids in SR30. Yeah, Colleen Mendel. So it could be it might have been why Duranda was in such a rush to implement the Destiny plan. It makes sense that they would have all sudden with these strategy genes involved with Gundam Seed, since Seed is one of the few Gundam series that has a huge focus on genetics and DNA. Yeah, you can't just stop there, man. Yeah, a singular points together, or one massive one, you could change the future. And he knows that if two singular points collide, though, they just wipe each other out. You know what? That was a desperate gamble. Ironic for... Oh yeah, Char never dropped access! Puts that you're the very reason we made our move. Char, and it all comes back to Char. Yeah, in our version of Earth's history, you took command of Neo Zeon and declared war against Earth. The second Neo Zeon War. And won. So yeah, Char won. Yeah, because Char created a living hell of war, probably. So I don't think he... I think in the second Neo Zeon War of their time, I don't think he dropped access. The star is a singular point. I did not see that one coming. Like, Yasuzuru's powers evolved to the level of a code inheritor can be a singular point too. But that would also include Lelouch. Yeah. You remember Hapner, and Lelouch is very well aware of the ability of a code inheritor to defy the laws of nature. He is dating one. Yeah, so Lelouch, V. Britannia, and Char Aznable changed history. If Jin was here, he'd punch him. Yeah, this is not our Musashi. See, Getter Emperors is recreating Musashi. I think the real Musashi does show up in Arc, though. I don't remember. Yeah, well, and there's some photon-powered mechs here, so that means Mazins are involved. And there were some advanced Gundam types. And they were all new types. Sho saw some aura power, and there was a Macross-class battleship. This is kind of how things had to go for the story, though, for humanity, if Getter Emperor is evolved. Getter Emperor is technically the final antagonist. And right now, we just gotta get out of here, and then we can change time. He's just fighting for the bar. Went by rushing with Dynazenon. The rest is going to be a normal rush strategy. Looks like I've hit I'm hit the point though where I'm gonna stop one-shotting things without some like serious setup. I don't know what else is going to show up. I just know something else is going to appear. I think outside of secret units, I think we've recruited the entire cast of the game. And the only characters left are secret units you recruit at the very end of the game. And one super boss unit. I've heard rumors. But it has been confirmed of a returning character. A dimensional fluctuation. Oh, that's Getter Dragon! Or Shin Getter Dragon. The legendary beast Uzala? I forgot that they went to Atlantis. I mean, Atlantis. That was a thing. Last survivor of the Hyakki Empire. That's what it means to be a Getter pilot. Getter can't operate like this. And hard enough to knock them out. Which the Getter pilots are durable. A weapon called Bug. Yeah. We're from the past. We're not fucking Getter Emperor brainwashed fucking psychopaths. Okay. Seeds are planted, though. The chosen children of Getter? So I'm guessing, I don't know if it's just going to be a stat boost or... did Getter just get something new? Shine Bomber. Ruin and screw you. God, I love Getter pilots. It's time for him to learn about the terror of Getter. Their equivalent of Shine Spark. Gonna have to send a team over to help them. But I gotta get over there first. Got 2 bosses on the board and a lot of powerful enemies. And with a rolling buster rifle. And finally a side flash. I didn't realize that Lucia's not attacked this entire level. I'll be honest, it's kind of refreshing to have a bunch of Jam Project music before we even get to our finale. Because normally with these games, we only get Jam Project at the very end. The exception was, I think, Super Robot Wars V and X with the Guardian for Mazinger. Oh, it's going to take a lot of us, because that fucker heals. I have a feeling. No, you don't! I thought he was gonna have a map attack, but he doesn't, so... I can just go nuts. Yeah, that might be what happened in your timeline, but I don't think Koji and Tetsuya would ever do that. Curious if he has anything else to say to any other one of our pilots. Let's hear see if he has any other unique dialogue for any other character besides Takuma.
俺のこの手が真っ赤に燃える。勝利をつかめとただらき叫ぶ。バークレッツゴッドフィンガーゼキャー天狂剣。 世界の秩序を乱すというのなら、
名のある者を撃てば士気も下がろう。
She kind of gives Suzaku some credit there.
やることは一つさ。
宇宙に戦いを広げる者たちの兵器か。息の根を止めてくれる。
ルーンドラッヘだってパワーは自信ありだよ。
奴の意志放置すれば。
Does nothing.
歴史を変える力となるお前の
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, no, Lelouch's existence can change the course of history. Kind of just all Lelouch does. It is the attack I wanted to see with a dynamic finish, if it has one.
俺たちはゲッターの申し子だ。シャイン
There we go!
なぜだ。なぜ奴らに勝てるのだ。
This Getter is scary.
俺たち3人の力だ。
Like, I'll be honest, Arc is probably... I don't mean the series, I mean the actual Getter Robo. I like the demonic visage it has when it opens the mouth and starts eating shit. That's really fucking horrifying and cool. But I'm still more of a fan of the design of Shin Getter. If you can't save it, the God of Harun will destroy everything. Yeah, Godzilla could do that. Oh, they might, because if I remember correctly, it's implied heavily that yeah, this is no good or evil, no like or dislike, no moving or standing still. Ryoma Nagari. Can't be stopped, whether it's wanted or not. That's evolution. Enemy and ally, providence, a system, and a concept. That's his brother to here. Its logic is infallible. This is the inside of the real Getter Emperor. will of... Yeah, if the will of Getter is a hive of assimilated conscience... Yeah, if I remember correctly, he doesn't show up for this conversation in the anime and manga either. If I remember correctly, I could be wrong, but I believe this is... They have a conversation with Musashi. Yeah. Getter Emperor is inherently terrifying, but it's not evil. I did say that earlier, that's bad of me to say. Getter Emperor itself is not a villain. It's like Godzilla, it's a force of nature. It wants to consume. But there is... Yeah, I believe Baku joins and he does try to, like, calm it the fuck down. Now, there's a couple of people in there who are, like, trying to calm Emperor down a little bit. Even that Musashi we saw is more of an extension of Emperor's will. Just, it's heavily driven. It hasn't been that long. God, no. You know it's not Jin. You piloted Getter. I don't think so. There's still more problems to deal with from Getter. Actually, I know it's not done yet. There's a unit from Getter we haven't seen yet that we saw in the trailer. Thinking about what he told him at the end. I did expect it to say Char and Lelouch for singular points. That actually caught me off guard. Because I called Emperor and Godzilla being singular points. Just need enough, and then we'll be able to take down Emperor. So yeah, in this one, the main goal is to stop Getter Emperor. Launch party to rewrite the future. We have another goal now, and that's to stop Emperor. Whatever. Yeah. Another party! Yeah, he sticks out too much for Department of Intelligence. They got that down. And he's doesn't really have the smarts for finance. We're going to the bar. I'm in. I like him. I do love Savus. He's fun. True, the fairies have been here longer than both of them. Him and Knight are onto something. This year doesn't branch into parallel worlds, but yeah. Him and Second still came from outside, though. And yeah, because they came from outside, that means that Getter Emperor isn't all-knowing. It can't stop everything. They came from Gridman's universe. Yeah. It implies an existence of a singular point so powerful even a being as strong as Emperor can't keep it from opening a seam. That fucking lizard. Something that can destroy fundamental order. It would be a god of ruin. The king of the kaiju. Oh, she's actually got a new outfit now. I kinda like it. They are playing with fire here. Yeah, it does. Also, welcome. You just missed us learning the revelation that Getter Emperor is a fucking monster. And they've explained that the events going back at the very least 19 years have been locked in place. Except for two exceptions, and that is Lelouch and Sharp. They are singular points themselves. and that Yoon and Knight have realized that with the second and Knight showing up from outside this dimension, popping in as from the Gridman universe, this implies that there is a singular point already forming in this point in time, so powerful it can overwrite Emperor. And we already know what that fucking singular point is, because it's a god of ruin. We know it's Godzilla! I am so excited for Godzilla. Like, this game has done an amazing job of hyping up Goji and, like, doing all the prep work for him. Oh, I recognize... Okay, so it's time. It's time.